Good morning. It is the morning after the rain, and I will walk around quickly to show you a little bit what the rain has done for us. So pretty obvious, we have the usual puddles in all the different places where we did not finish the road, and this is not going to be a road here, but we do have this water here. And there is more to show you over there and outside of the immediate farmyard. So there isn't any damage. Even this held up pretty well, because we got some, well, probably 50 liters of rain, and that's pretty good. So now people around here in the villages should have drinking water again, because they had been suffering. They had to truck in the water because the water from the tap was very dirty and people don't like that. So let me peek into this hole here. This is not supposed to be a pond, but yes, there is a puddle in there. That's okay. So now let's go outside, and there are the 3 horses. So let me open this. And of course there are more puddles here. The thing that I wanted to show you is down there, and then we are going to the left and basically check the seasonal creek that is fed from the neighbor's land, where there is no water retention, and we get the whole thing. And you will see in a few seconds how this looks like. And we do have a stream. You might be able to already hear it. So let's see, without getting my boots too wet. Closer. So, there you have it. So here, this is flowing. I think I will show you this from the bottom. So let's go here, because this is now the first time that I can actually show you how this seasonal creek looks like when there was more rain than just a dribble. So everybody who has been interested in this, now you can see how it looks like and how it actually works. Because there have been many suggestions, and I have always been saying, yeah, we have already that and that, and people kept insisting that we should do certain things. So let's see. So here we are on the edge, and you see we have running water, and over there of course it continues to flow. You can see there where it leaves, and it then crosses over, goes through what we call B1, and eventually there where the tree line is, there it will do a left and then continue and eventually drop into a river that is somewhere in the distance, a few kilometers away. So as you can see, the pond is filled as much as it's possible, and now let's follow this and see. So here's a step, and of course there's erosion, but that is now the inlet, and let's have a look. So as you can see, here it is kind of calm. There is a sediment trap. Of course you can't really see it at the moment, but it's here, there where the camera is pointing at, to lose some of the sediment. And then there is a higher area, and before of that there is another sediment trap there where it's calm. So This is that technique. It's not a leaky weir. That would be on a steeper slope probably, but in our case we have a sediment trap. And now you can see it again, that the floor of this is higher. Now we have deferred. Yeah. Now where we drive over it, you see how that looks like here. Now, this is all very well. There's nothing to complain, and all that water does not come from our land. It comes from the neighbor. So that's important to know. So it's beyond our control. We can make suggestions to the neighbor, but as I told a few times already, that kind of neighbor is not interested in any of the things we talk about. So you see, I give you a moment to appreciate this area here. And that water line there, that hose, is from the irrigation for the vetiver. In summer this will be improved. And there is some vetiver. It is currently underwater, but it doesn't really matter. And it's not that much, because here and there it got destroyed. The horses seem to like this area here. There is fresh growth. And it is tastier. Oh, this there is Tuscarora. She's curious. And watch for the stream. So you can see here it's a bit calmer, and there is another area that is higher, therefore there is more flow. Tuscarora. Oh. Oh. So let's see what we have here. The interesting thing will be around the corner. And of course there's a little bit of flow from up here, but it is minimal. And it mostly comes, as you can see, from there where I'm going to. So step over this. So here there is a bit more. That's the animal lane. And now I need to make my way through these puddles. Interesting. So there used to be a fence, but it got destroyed. So now that Angel will then be able to come daily, we will spend an hour here and there and fix things. So basically it's a cleanup. We don't need those paddocks in the future, not all of them, and we will fix that so that we don't have loose wires. So now let's have a good look at this. So as you can see, the flow is pretty calm. It's a steady flow, but it's not violent. And you see that boulder there, that is basically the high water mark that you already saw when it was dry. Now let's go here to the beginning of our land. And please keep in mind, what you will see is nothing I can change, because it's the neighbor's land. I can only do something in our land. And there is a plan, but the excavator hasn't shown up yet. At some point we will use the backhoe. So this is the neighbor's land. And you can see how it looks like. So let me zoom in a bit. So there where the sheep are, it goes up, and this is all the catchment area. So basically the whole neighbor's land is the catchment area, and then a little bit further up. And all these leaky weirs that people have been talking about in the past, yeah, they would go there where the sheep are. Yeah, there would be a good opportunity to spread the water out. But the neighbor is not interested in these things, and therefore they don't exist, and they won't exist as long as that very same neighbor controls this piece of land. They are only interested in making ends meet. Of course, it's understandable, but they don't understand the importance of water. They just complain that it does not rain enough. And if it were raining more, then more of their soil would wash away, which is a tragedy. Okay, but let's talk about ours. So you can see, here it comes in, it goes under this, this mesh. And here there is a trap, basically, a sediment trap. So it's deeper. And what we have on our list is to remove more of the material, basically there where my shadow is, and make this wider, so that more of the sediment can be caught here instead of filling up the pond further down. I think now this is pretty good to understand what we can do here. And eventually there should be vetiver and the true riparian area beginning here at that wall, because on the left side we do not control things. So we start at the wall and then go right and plant shrubs and trees that belong into a riparian area. And I have in mind what someone sent to me, lots of drawings, very good ideas. So basically something along those lines. So thank you again for sending this, and it will eventually become reality. And here it is normal, dry, but this area should then also benefit. So I will go up here a little bit and then turn around so that we can see that better. You see the ground rises, and now I'm turning around, and all this, where it's pretty yellow, this will be more open and should then hold a little pond. Of course that pond will not stay for long, but that's okay. The idea is to infiltrate the water into the ground. It will not eat from A15, this is A16, so that fence stays where it is, but we use basically something like that. And someone in the past did a similar thing, so they created a berm, because this is man-made. So there between that tree and the other one, you can see there is something like a berm. So the idea is to make this a little bit more pronounced, so that we have a holding area for the water right here. So that's the plan. And like I said, it's either the big excavator, when it comes to also dig another pond in a completely different area, a real big one, or we use the little backhoe. The problem is the material needs then to go somewhere, and when the big excavator comes, they will also bring a dump truck, and then things are a lot quicker. So for the big machine this is a 2-hour job, and 3 scoops fill the dump truck. So that kind of equipment. So basically there where it is light, this is going to be the pond area. Every single piece that is hanging here from the ceiling is accounted for individually. Nothing can escape. Each leg has a label with an identification number. Now Angel is taking one out to have a closer look. And here it is. You can see how yellow the fat is, and you can also notice how it has shrunk. Now the weight is significantly less than when it was fresh. When you start cutting the ham, it is important to keep this fat in order to close the cut surface again, so that it won't dry out. To get your own leg of ham, you can head over to our web shop and order some. There are two options for you to buy the ham. We offer envelopes with 100 grams of hand-sliced pieces of ham, and there is the full leg. In the case of a front leg, it's about 4 to 6 kilo each. Families in Spain keep the leg in the kitchen, and everybody cuts off a slice whenever they are hungry. And you might have been wondering where that water flowing down the animal path comes from. So here you see it. It comes from the easement, and further up the other fincas, the other land from other people. Up there is the catchment area, and unfortunately it flows down the easement and takes away the sand and leaves the stones and creates ruts, of course. And then you see it follows the easement like that, and then it makes a left there and then flows into the very same seasonal creek that fills our pond. And I don't like it flowing over the easement because it destroys the road basically, but there's not that much that we can do at the moment. At another point in time we can do something on the easement itself, because the easement sits on our land, so there we have some influence, but it's not a biggie at the moment. We are going to do other things now that are more urgent and have a bigger effect. So, and this half destroyed fence here, this is going to continue to be a fence, but of course we will do this in a more, in a better fashion with some strong corner posts and all that. But it's also not a very urgent thing. So you basically repair and remove what we don't need, so that this becomes a nice looking area and not the way it is right now. And as we plant things, the fence will follow to protect the new plantings. So there is no intention for the immediate future to have more animals than these 3 horses there. And we will keep them out of areas where we plant and then build the fence accordingly. And of course these fence posts are basically loose, so we can pull them out in many cases, unless we have used some cement, and then we build another fence with them. And what I can mention, I will do that video next to show you where we are going to plant the Miyawaki forest and share the details and all that. But over there, this is about 2 hectares, what used to be our paddocks A11 to A14, and there we will plant some 800 palovnia trees. But that's a project scheduled for the beginning of May, when the palovnia trees become available. So they basically resprout by the end of April, and that's also when the supplier makes them available for planting. So this is something during May. And if you like, you can also participate with that, or just come and watch, no problem. And this will then have a plantation kind of, but it's not a monoculture. So we will plant a lot of other things in between. So it's basically that area over there. All this will be filled with palovnia trees, and sun hemp and friends, they will also go there. And there will be irrigation, and the water for the irrigation will come out of that pond. And there are plans. We just have to put them in motion. And this is now about to happen. But April 9th is going to be the date for the Miyawaki forest. 28,000 saplings. A7 is the place further down. And after this, there will be a dedicated video about that project. So what I can also mention is, here there will be a makeshift fence, and on the other side also, I think I mentioned that before, but I'm showing you this again. So the idea is that this patio here can then be used to step out at night, for example, without encountering the dogs. So that means if you as a volunteer sleep here upstairs in the cortijo, and when the dogs are out at night, you will not meet them, because this whole area that will be enclosed so that you are separated from the dogs. I think that's a smarter way. And inside of this, I can show you what it is. I didn't do this before. So this used to be an enclosed room, but unfortunately an excavator operator had a mishap and removed the wall there, and now it looks like that. The idea is not to close this in, but also remove this wall here, or maybe use it the way it is. I think we use it the way it is, and put a kitchen area here, an outside kitchen, because it's on the roof. And this will not fall down. This is sturdy enough. It has held up so far. The only thing is that there is a gap. So here we can do something. We can clean this up a little bit and then have a kitchen area here. I don't think that there is a structural problem. This looks pretty good. So we will keep this for a while and basically make this area here, the cortijo, and that patio volunteer central for guests. And here is an oven, and it seems okay-ish. We have to investigate and check it out, but it is actually moist, so this might not be okay anymore. We will see. So what I can show you, if I manage to climb over this, that is the backside, what you see there. So this area might be damaged, and we can remove this. But I cannot remove this piece yet, because it is part of the wall, of the block wall behind. And as long as possible, I want to keep this wall so that we have this patio for you guys, if you want to come down here and help us a hand and enjoy the company of others while you are doing a good thing. And I'd like to thank you in advance for volunteering to lend us a hand. So we will clean this up and have it fenced, so that there will be no unpleasant encounter with 8 big dogs trying to figure out if you are a friend or foe. So we better keep humans separated from these dogs.